Do you think your home and devices are secure? A new cybersecurity report is revealing some stark realities. Noopur Davis, Chief Information Security Officer for Comcast, joins us with details and recommendations for how we can make sure our homes are as cyber safe as possible. So we're happy to have you here. What were some of the key findings, though, in the report?
You know, there were some really interesting findings. First, we found that since we did our last report 2 years ago, our customers' homes have 25% more connected devices. We also found, not surprisingly, that the threats have grown. In fact, in the 5 years since Xfinity X5 Advanced Security was released, we have blocked 10 billion threats in our customers' homes. And the third really interesting data was that on average, there are 23 unique threats per month that we block per home. The real number is probably 2 to 3 times as big because each unique threat is actually used multiple times.
Oh, wow. Okay. Don't like to hear that. Everyone seems to be purchasing new devices for the holidays. So are any of them more susceptible to cyber threats?
Yes, in general, laptops, tablets, computers, cameras are more vulnerable. But also devices that you may not think of, drones or the baby swing or, your washing machine, anything in your home that is connected to the internet. And that is why it is really important to have something in the background like X5 Advanced Security that just automatically protects everything that is connected to your home Wi-Fi through our X5 gateway.
And so what are some of the current cyber attacks you're seeing, and how can we all protect ourselves from them?
Well, one attack we see is IP addresses with malicious or bad reputations trying to connect into devices in our customers' homes. Second, we see unsafe browsing. So somebody in the home will go to a website that looks perfectly benign and safe, but it's got malware and gets downloaded and spreads. And third is that the device itself, our gateway or the modem, can become part of a botnet, where the botnet then launches something called a distributed denial of service attack. So we also try very, very hard to make sure that our modems and our gateways don't become part of botnets. Now, how you can protect yourself, there are 5 things. First, make sure you use strong passwords and you don't repeat passwords. Second, make sure you have multi-factor authentication turned on whenever you can. Third, make sure all of your devices are set to auto update. So if there's a patch, it'll automatically get patched. 4, just be aware of all the devices in your home that may be connected to the internet. And then finally, we all can learn more and become more cyber savvy. So as much education as we can, just get ourselves prepared.
Right, and you're helping us with that today too, so thank you for that. And it seems like obviously the younger generation, the most tech savvy out there, right, with all their devices. Does that mean that they're necessarily more careful about staying safe online?
This was surprising. It's the opposite. So Gen Z was actually exhibiting the most unsafe behaviors, about 87% of the time. And then Gen X and millennials were below that at about 80% of the time. And really the most safe were boomers, who were doing, exhibiting unsafe behavior about 70% of the time, which is still very high. And which is, again, why we need something that in the background is protecting you, anything connected to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and then we don't have to worry about it. So where can we go for more information?
Please go to comcastcorporation.com/cyber health report for more information.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for helping us out with that today. And if you'd like to see this segment again, just head to our website, firstcoastliving.net.